Okay, let's talk about the second album that we heard this week. JPEGMAFIA, I Lay Down My Life for You. There was a lot of buzz around this album right here, namely because of one, JPEGMAFIA does have a cult fan base, I feel, but also two, because he did have some Drake disses on here, which obviously isn't a new thing if you're a JPEGMAFIA fan. But you know, people like NFR and all these other podcasts or music platforms, they were gassing it up because it's gonna bring them traction and views and things like that. But you know, when I first seen the news, I'm like, oh, JPEGMAFIA is dissing Drake. And this, I'm like, why? Like, this seems very cloud chasey. But then once people like, he's been doing this, and they started showing lyrics, I'm like, oh, I have no problem with this now.
Oh, nah, he been dissing Drake since like 2016.
Yeah, but I will say though this, I don't care if you're dissing Drake. The bars were kind of cool. But besides that,
my first question: how do you feel about this nigga letting his fans call him Peggy?
And him spitting in that one fan's mouth at his concert?
But he called himself Peggy, and the fans called him.
Okay, so
he's still spitting in that fan's mouth.
Gay or not? Why don't you make a ruling?
I mean,
yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I like the album a little more.
Okay, but yeah, JPEGMAFIA. This is my first solo JPEGMAFIA album I've listened to. I wonder. The only one I've listened to before this is the one with him and Danny Brown.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Scaring the H-Words music, which I mean, this album is literally Scaring the H-Words music. So I don't get why he doesn't name all his albums that. But for me, with this album, I feel like this is a more avant-garde version of a Travis Scott album. To me, I just feel like this.
I don't know if I agree with that, big dog.
Because to me, it feels like it's trying. Okay, so for me, when I first heard the album, because I'm not tuned to JPEGMAFIA music, so I don't know if this is his usual style that he goes for. Yeah, not by this type, but but yeah, when it came to this album, when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, this is very loud and abrasive from the sound. I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna get a stereotypical hip hop album because I heard Scaring the H-Words and I enjoyed that. But I feel like he was kind of meeting somewhere else in the middle of that. Even though Danny Brown himself has a bit of a bombastic like production choices that he makes, especially for an album like Atrocity at Exhibition. With this album right here, at first like it was just very like, oh, this is like jarring because like this isn't what I'm used to listening to. Well, based off of what I listen to.
I know, I'm just saying it's light.
Nerd. But like I was saying, when it came to this, I'm like, oh, this is very abrasive. But then the other songs where it's kind of like a bit more mellow in production and him actually rapping, this isn't my type of music. I'll say that. I did enjoy a good amount of the album, but this isn't something that I'll ever go back to. I hate to say it like this, but I played it like 4 times. So each of these albums this week, besides Vultures, because that came out later, I played each album like 4 times.
I mean, also you could play that album 4 times.
But like I was saying, with this album right here, and this could be because I'm not tuned to his music, and it's one of those things where it's like how you say like, oh, you know, you might not like it now, but you go back to it, you might like it later. I think I'll like it more once I go to his other projects, listen to him, and then come back to this. I'm like, okay, I see where he upgraded or kind of like became better in production or lyrically or flow wise in these areas right here. But like I said, this is my first solo project of JPEG. I wanted to listen to his discography a few weeks ago. Yeah. But yeah, the production was just very abrasive at first. And you know, a lot of the times when it comes to me, the mixing got to be on points where I got to hear the lyrics. This is the type of music, and I get it that it's intentional, that you're not supposed to hear everything because of the production. But I'm just like, I'm not really enjoying this because one, this isn't my style of music. This is my intro kind of to this person right here. And I could barely hear you on some of these songs right here. But some of the songs where he does like kind of slow it up, like that one R&B sample style song. I forgot the name of it.
I'll be right there for you. Right there.
Maybe, but it was like really slow, like it was like really short. I was like, okay, we getting somewhere right here.
Oh, what you talking about? Either on drugs or not, or whatever.
Yeah, there was a song
after the Denzel Curry song.
No, it was before that, I think. Or maybe it was after. I don't know.
Either on or off of drugs.
I got it.
That was a short one, and it had the R&B song.
Yeah, the song with Denzel Curry, it was cool. I got what I expected from that, so I enjoyed it. Jihad Joe or whatever. Jihad Joe. Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. I didn't really like the Vince Staple feature. Vince Staple did what he usually does, but I just don't like. I think I like Vince more on his own stuff than feature Vince.
I like it.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying for me, because he came with a super monotone flow, and I think when he chooses production style for him, I think to me it fits it better. So for a bombastic and very, like I said, abrasive and loud production.
What about on Summertime 06? He kind of have like.
Remember I told you that was one of the projects I liked lesser on the totem pole. When it came to the totem pole of Vince Staples, it's on the lesser side. The last 3 albums on the top side. But
wait, you hold on. Sorry, not to. You like fucking Summertime, the Summertime one better than Summertime '06? The one where I can't remember the name right now, but you know where it's
talking
like
about his last
all the
album.
radio intros and stuff.
FM.
Yeah,
FM.
I like FM more, but it's a shorter project though. It's way more digestible than a 2-disc album.
Sometime 06 first half fire.
I will admit though, Summertime '06 is a better album than that. But
okay, I'm back.
yeah. I'm talking about personal preference. When
Yeah,
you say
I
that.
got
You asked if I liked it more, but overall with this project, I don't think it's a bad project because I did like a majority of the songs off this project. The rapping is cool. It didn't do anything special for me. Which I mean, if you're gonna have bombastic like production like this, I don't expect the lyrics to be crazy because if you're also on the producing side as well, which I know him as a producer as well because he did help and work on Vultures 1. I get it. I just
think one song, right?
I don't know. But yeah, this album was cool. It's not bad. I thought it was gonna be bad because I'm just like everybody's hyping this up. This is all genres mixed into one. I'm just like, alright. To me, this just feels like a more artistic version of a Travis Scott album where it's a bunch of noise happening. Where it's just like I can barely hear what you're saying.
What you mean? You don't mean by elements of like musically.
So what I mean by Travis Scott is, Travis Scott has this really grandiose sound, and it's like different sounds of what you hear in traditional hip hop that you would hear on the radio, where it's a bit more kind of like a 90210 thing and stuff like that, where it's a bit more different and more not experimental, but you can tell that the production is very different, varied, and more layered than a traditional rap or hip hop song. Like you could tell that 90210 is kind of going for a more ethereal.
I know what the ambient sounds.
Aesthetic, a different aesthetic.
I think I know what you're
I know what you're saying.
To me, I'm not saying they're going for the same sound.
Even on the last album that I didn't like that much.
Utopia?
Yeah, all the beats, you wouldn't hear them on no other album.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With this album right here, what JPEGMAFIA does to me, it's very unique sounding. It's definitely different. Production is very varied and different as well. He's going over a whole bunch of to me, like how a lot of people say Travis Scott makes noise, like a lot of noise. To me, this album was a lot of noise at points. I'm just like, there's a lot happening right now on this track. And sometimes I'm just like, I could have done without this. This is cool. I really don't care about these elements right here. To me, that's what this album was. Like I said, to me, it's not a bad album. Lyrics was fine. It was okay. Flows was cool, okay. I don't know why I expected his voice to be a bit different, or him to vary his voice a bit differently.
He looked different than he sound.
Exactly. I agree. Because when I hear him, I'm like,
I think his voice would be deeper.
Yeah, I think it'd be deeper.
Like an MC Ride on like a...
He looked like a money store type thing.
But also, there was one line on here where I'm just like, well, he said something like, I'm not one of those guys that get a hotel room.
Underground?
Me in my head, I had to say it like this. You make music for those type of guys.
The underground guys that get in the hotel.
Yeah, they did play with their beats with each other. I'm like, you make music for those type of guys. Ain't nobody who actually gets women back.
That might be why I listen to
him. But I got Bam
You called the exception.
Oh,
and man,
never mind.
That's still good.
Many men?
With something on you?
What do you think about the album, bro?
So I'm reopening it because I didn't add none of the songs yet, but this is my first time listening to JPEGMAFIA. I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought JPEGMAFIA was kind of he just seemed like a word I'm not allowed to say because you're a father.
Okay.
Like just from him being on Twitter. So I never listened to it. Plus people like he don't shower much.
Yeah.
Wait, does he also wait? So you telling me that what he was accusing Drake of, that's what he is?
I'll say no, just because JPEGMAFIA seems to me like he might be lame, but he own his. He don't be trying to pretend he's something he not, which we all know Drake be trying to pretend he like women of a grown age, and he don't. But so I listened to it. I ain't gonna lie, I only listened to this because I was gonna be on this pod. Like JPEGMAFIA, his music just don't like them niggas who be wearing do-rags. I mean not do-rags.
Bandanas.
Them niggas who be wearing bandanas outside. Not really my type.
This isn't really the type of music that they would listen to, though. To me, JPEGMAFIA is literally the definition of alternative hip hop.
Yeah,
like when they talk about like the white people who love Tyler the Creator, Eminem, and all that. This is their music.
Just to me, JPEGMAFIA look like a nigga who really like Death Grips.
You know who JPEGMAFIA kind of looks like to me? It reminds me of someone that we used to work at the Big Blue store with. That used to do his car stuff. That's who he kind of remind me of.
All right, that's disrespectful to JPEGMAFIA. Don't disrespect Peg like that. You why?
Why you think you like it?
That's not right. Hey, shout out his brand though.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so like Chase said, his voice sounded different than I expected it to. I like the production on this album. It was definitely weird, but to me, this is like, cause I don't like Death Grips at all.
Yeah.
This to me is like a more like a manageable version.
Does this
like,
ever have like some similarities like Eases a bit?
I mean, I think I would say he probably was like inspired by it to his, with his career and everything.
I think the music, yeah, it was mostly like Death Grip, because like what Kanye was making is pretty much like trying to do what like Death Grip, he couldn't match. No, Shabazz Palace was murking that. Nah, he's not. I like Yeezus.
We're not getting in your alternative.
Okay, my bad. All right, come on, go. Speak.
All right, so, I say the thing I got from this most is I actually really like his production.
Yeah.
Like on New Black History, I know you said you didn't like it, but like that,
the feature.
I like JPEG Ultra. Jihad Joe had a good beat for me. What was the R&B one? I can't remember right now, but you said it earlier.
The one on drugs, on or off drugs. Or,
Either on okay.
Or the one in like the third song was
no, I was thinking
right
about
for you.
I was thinking about the one near the end, so I think it was either on or off drugs.
Fire,
yeah, and so it's like 2 or 3 songs on here I might go back to, which I would not have just. I don't even know if I'm gonna go listen to more of him, but it's like there's like 2 or 3 earworms.
Yeah. That
got into me. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm trying to think of another album that I didn't really like, but it's like songs off of it I saved. So
Vultures.
No. So another. This reminds me of like how I felt about Almighty Soap too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Almighty Soap. There's like 2 or 3 songs on there that they are my recently played all the time, cause like fucking Treat Myself.
Yeah.
And so with this JPEGMAFIA album, the 2 obviously I like the 2 features. Cause I'm not a hater. I like Vince Staples.
I do too.
And I mess with Denzel Curry when he's not on his own music.
Dang.
And then that last one, the R&B one, kinda, I'm gonna probably keep that one. And then also Jihad Joe, I might keep just like when I want to feel uncomfortable in the car, I might throw that on. Like that might be my pulling into the parking lot at where I work to make the people in there uncomfortable in the mornings.
Yeah.
So I'll say, hey, look, I wouldn't even listen to this. I don't regret listening to it. I think that's a compliment I could give. None of the songs were like just trash to me, like The Money Store. So I'm gonna give it up to the big dog so he can cook.
Oh my god.
On this album.
Okay. So this album right here, bro, it grew on me. My first listen, I enjoyed the album, but I kind of was expecting more of a industrial, because I know he's usually more like, it's more higher, I guess, more loud, and then more
like higher concept.
No, I'm talking about production.
Oh,
like if you're talking about like Money Store, like he can get into his bag with that.
Well, thank God he did.
He didn't. So usually in some of his music, when it comes to production, he will like grab like a annoying ass sound and like run it to the like. He got songs where bro like sirens is just playing throughout the song, and that's the type of stuff that got me into him, because it was just, he was different, you know what I mean? But with this album,
you like being annoying too.
Oh my god! So with like this album, I feel like he kind of layered it down, which I like, because I love most of the songs I love are more of the slower tracks on here, like. The track he had with like Buzzy Lee, like in the beginning with the girls like singing, and then it flips into him like rap. Like I love the production on that. Like the standout to me is just his growth in production and showing how versatile he is. Like how he meshed up like a freaking drums with like from a hip hop drums with like freaking rock band. You know what I mean? Like a whole rock.
I'm gonna have to bleep that.
Oh my bad. A effing rock song. Like what JPEG do, bro. I don't know, bro. Like it's so much. That's when people say like he's more talented than like people say like, oh, y'all hating on JPEG, but he more talented than Drake. I wouldn't say he's talented than him like when it comes to like, I guess lyrically or something like that. But it comes to like creativity and like production, I think he's in his own lane. Yeah. I don't think anybody could just emulate this.
Don't you think any rapper who could like produce at a reasonable level more talented than Drake?
Like Big Crit?
Big Crit is more talented.
Yeah, J. Cole?
I don't think we're all going to disagree.
J. Cole?
Don't get too crazy. Them beats are so trash, he might be less talented.
But like, when we go into this album, I don't even think it's a song on here I dislike. I can play this whole album all the way through and just enjoy it.
All right,
Like,
so oh my bad. I was just gonna say as to I don't know. Do you listen to JPEGMAFIA?
The only album I
You
heard
want me
was
to like
Scaring the
recommend y'all
H-Words.
another album?
Oh,
to
scaring
check out?
the hoes. Oh,
That's what this
Scaring the Hoes
music
is
is.
really good.
but so as a person who don't listen to him, and I know you do, how are the peg heads feeling about this album compared to the last one?
Are they all loving it? Like some people expected the same thing that I expected, like more like I guess industrial sounding.
So like more abrasive.
Yeah, and when it comes to like, I was gonna recommend y'all probably an album from him that I think y'all will like.
I'm gonna listen to all discography. But
Check out LP. I think y'all will probably.
Is that
like
the one where he's in front of the store?
No.
Is this?
Oh yeah, I don't know that one.
Is that a white woman?
That's offline.
That's
You doing offline?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that cover before. Yeah.
That's a hard cover.
Shit.
I don't know about y'all, but this album's gonna be in my top 10. I already know it is.
So I gotta ask, where does this rank based off of right now? Obviously things can change. Where does this rank for you amongst his discography?
Man,
Top half, bottom half?
Like, where do you have it pegged?
that's a good one. Man, I'm just looking. I love Veterans. Veterans is like.
Is that the one with the license on it?
Yeah, that's the one I had
ODB
on record. They're doing like over so much money. I sold it for like $300. Anyways, to me, from recently biased, it could be. I say top 5. It's up there.
But how many albums do he have?
Like 5.
No. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, EPs he has like 8. I say 7. I think it's in the middle.
Overall,
right.
Would you recommend this project to someone who doesn't listen to JPEGMAFIA?
I wouldn't recommend it to people, but like from somebody who heard it, I recommend y'all like LP to check out. But
so if you was recommending something to people who don't listen to JPEGMAFIA, and you trying to you don't want to start them out too abrasive,
okay.
Like I think that's what Chase was asking. For niggas who are not up on his style, how you get them into it? You don't think this would be like a good?
No. I give him a good starting point. I say like check out some Kenny Mason. He's not with production. He's not crazy like JPEG.
Yeah.
But he has rock influences, and he's a way like more like rapping wise, and he's like the guy like Chase like Kenny, but you like his rock stuff though, even though it's not like JPEG. But I'm just saying they could be in the same lane, or you can go into Paris, Texas.
Think so?
Yeah.
Kenny Mason and JPEG?
I think they can make a
All right, is either of them make better rock than Kid Cudi?
Yes. Paris, Texas?
No.
Check out them as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'll listen to that Kenny. Would you say Kenny Mason?
You enjoy Kenny Mason more. Only why I recommend Kenny Mason is because of some of the rock influence. Production wise, him and JPEG is not the same.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't.
But I'm saying I'm trying to walk him into something.
Yeah, like
that's all I'm saying.
If I want to listen to some nigga rock, I need to start.
Because I'm saying
Kenny Mason hard though.
Nah, he's dope.
Yeah, I want to listen to some nigga rock, so I'm gonna start there.
But I talk about Kenny Mason on the old pod. You just probably don't.
He keeps claiming stuff that he's talking about on the old pod put us on. I don't believe it.
I've actually played an episode when I brought up Kenny Mason.
He was talking about dick and I was
Bro, I used to try to put y'all on, bro.
You was trying to put us on something.
Yeah, I was. And y'all didn't hop on it.
This is gonna be long.